Hey everybody, welcome to How I See It with Kevin Levrone, brought to you by Levrone Supplements. Joining us as always, IFBB Hall of Famer, Kevin Levrone. Kevin, thanks for joining us again.
Yes, sir.
Kevin, more and more questions keep piling in literally from all over the world. Literally.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Today we have a couple from across the globe to kick things off.
Really? Nice.
Your guy, Sid in Bangalore, India, has become a devoted question asker.
Thank you, Sid.
His first question, I think we kind of answered this a few episodes ago, but maybe not. In your career, you got to know many bodybuilders. Who, in your opinion, had the best genetics for our sport in case of responding to training and so on? Maybe himself. Yeah, maybe you. Could have been you.
Oh, man.
I vote for you.
Yeah. Wow. Great question, though, Sid. You know, I never had the opportunity to actually prepare with any other guys as I was training for a contest because I lived in Baltimore, they lived in California, and I was so far away from everyone. But I can tell you, just reading the magazines and what they were doing, kind of, you really didn't have your hands on the pulse, so you really couldn't see the update or pictures or anything what they were doing. Yeah. I just remember seeing photos after shows and seeing what they looked like at the show, and that was the last impression that I took home with me. And then the next time that I saw them would be in the magazine. So we've always saw each other when we were actually, pretty much in shape. My last visualization, thoughts of Dorian Yates or Ronnie Coleman was always at the Olympia, and Shaun Rage and Flex and Chris Cormier and all the guys that we competed against. So because there wasn't no, media like it is now, we kind of took those pictures and just stuck them in our head or cut them out of the magazine and stuck them on the refrigerator and just kept that visualization in your mind. I mean, I just remember everyone being in shape and comparing myself or looking at myself saying, if I want to be or have an opportunity, a chance to win, I have to do something different. I have to bring up this body part, or Dorian's back was like this, Ronnie's legs was like this, or whatever. So we just focused on what we were doing individually. I would say everyone had genetics to potential to build muscle and do some extraordinary things. I mean, look how Ronnie came from 0 to 100, and look how Dorian Yates, when he first got second to Lee Haney in his first Mr. Olympia, I think Yates was like 230 something, 237. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he competed.
I think it was actually 228 that first Olympia.
Yeah, 228. And he just kept growing every year. He would come back different and different. So no matter what you would try to chase or try to mimic after, it was just no catching up, Yates just kept growing and growing and growing each and every year. Same thing with Ronnie. It was just the Ronnie Coleman that you prepared yourself to show up to compete against was a different one that actually showed up on stage. And that was such a surprise because you didn't have the updated photos and pictures leading up to shows. So it was just a complete surprise. You didn't know what anybody looked like until you got backstage, and everyone looked good.
It's funny you mentioned that because back in the days when all we had was magazines, we never saw you guys in the off season ever. So even I in the early days, and a lot of people I've talked to said, we thought they always looked like that 24, year round, that contest condition. That's just how you guys always looked, the way you looked at the contest. We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
All right. Next question from Sid. Did you ever have another bodybuilder as a role model, or is there one you looked up to in your amateur years?
Everyone that competed before me, I was a pro. All the pros, I found something in each and every one of them that inspired me, from Gary Stride and Lee Vibrata to Rich Gaspar to Lee Haney, Dorian Yates to, just everyone, Mike Christian to, just, what was the one guy's name? Phil Hill. Phil Hill, down to Phil Hill, down to all of these guys, Andreas Munter with the cuts, it's just everyone, every bodybuilder, because you respect the work and the dedication that they. It was just another level of holding a pro card, being an IFBB pro. You know, it wasn't that many of us back then.
Right.
And everyone that came through had their own unique identity. So I looked up to all of them were great inspirations, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a big fan, obviously, but I mean, back then I could name pretty much every pro. Maybe some of the guys over in Europe that hadn't competed much, I couldn't name, but for the most part, there was very few pros I had never heard of, and you know now because there's a lot of pros. If you
Mike
show the whole
Ashley,
list.
Mike Ashley, who actually won the Arnold Classic, that beat Shaun Rage. Just a lot of, you know, guys who were, and everyone had posing routines, presentations. That's what was so unique and so different. And not one of those individuals you read anything, you know, about their personalities. You just didn't. There's no window for you to judge someone other than what they look like on stage. You didn't have a chance to know what their personality was or have a look into their lives or anything personal. So you couldn't judge them on a personal level like you can now with people. You know, people are walking into your personal life. And
I mean, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because like I say, I didn't, when I was looking at the magazines, I didn't know anything about you guys really. I knew what the physiques, but I had no idea, were you a good person, a bad person, what kind of personality you had, just no idea. But now, you know, look at your Instagram every day, you have little quotes and little audio clips. I think people get a good sense of who you are and who these guys are.
Yeah, they do. They do have a good sense. But, you know, it's like, judge my physique, not really my content of character. You know, I try to put things up on Instagram to help people motivate and stay positive and move forward and let them know what I'm thinking, you know, from time to time and what goes through my mind to get me through my adversities and challenges and so on and so forth. And I think that's what's important. That's why I actually use it, you know.
He wants to know, did you ever meet Vic Richards? If yes, were you impressed?
Absolutely. He was another one. Yes, because Victor Richards was the first guy that I've ever seen with 34-inch quads.
Yeah.
You know, he was huge.
Yeah.
You know, it's average.
Right.
You see guys walking around like that just on the average, but talk about somebody who had some amazing genetics. Victor Richards, yeah. I wonder what he's doing today.
Yeah, I remember 5'9", he'd walk around in pretty lean condition.
He'd be about
285, 290. He was a big
280s, 290s, big. He was the first guy that I saw. I think he used to curl 100-pound dumbbells, probably a little more.
Yeah. I remember I used to go to this gym in Pasadena. It was a World Gym, California. World Gym, and then it became a Gold's. And he went there for about 6 months. I don't know what the hell he was doing in Pasadena, but our dumbbells only went up to 150, and he used to get so mad because he'd sit there on the incline dumbbell press. He'd do like 20 reps, and you could tell he'd throw them down like frustrated, like this is nothing. I'm like, there's a barbell over there. Why don't you just load the barbell up, dude? Anyway.
For you guys out there who don't know who Victor Richards is, Google the name.
Victor Richards. He was a freak. The Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah.
Boy, more questions from Sid. Yeah, he sent me 2 different series over the last week. After 2018, would you consider training young and upcoming bodybuilders? Kind of like Charles Glass and Chris Cormier?
Of course. Yeah, of course I would. You know, I'd continue to be an influence in the community wherever I feel compelled to be led, you know?
Yeah. Would you consider, this is before the Arnold Classic, would you consider making a workout video with any of your competitors, a 15 to 20-minute video like how Dexter had one, Road to the Olympia? Well, first of all, you're in Maryland. You'd have to go out to L.A. to, actually, everyone's all over the place now.
Yeah.
There's really nobody near you.
Yeah.
So they'd have to come to you, or you'd have to go to them.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. You're going to have to roll up your sleeve for this one, though. The tattoo on Kevin's forearms, what's it about and what does it symbolize?
Oh, really?
That's it. Right here, sir. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
It's just it's a cross with a bleeding heart on it with thorns going through it, and just representing my thoughts.
Yeah.
You know.
My Jesus has a bunch of barbed wire. Where the hell?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay.
we all like the barbed wire. I think
Yeah.
we got something there somewhere. So.
Mine didn't come out looking like barbed wire, but that's another story. Not
Yeah.
every tattoo artist can get all those little things. Oh, wow. Still from Sid. Do you think Do you think Shaun Rage should try to make a comeback? If he does, do you feel he can achieve close to what you have achieved during your comeback?
You know, what someone decides to do is up to them, and yeah, I mean that's his decision. I think, as far as me saying what someone can accomplish, I'm not one here to say that someone can't do whatever it is they want to do. You know, I think anything's possible as long as you just believe and never quit and never give up.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
And I don't think he's trained. He just, you know, it's obviously a motivation thing and what someone personally wants to do, but
Yeah.
he hasn't trained like that in a long time. I'm sure if he flipped a switch in his head, he could.
I mean, you're talking about somebody with great genetics, no injuries.
Yeah.
You know, never had an injury.
Right.
That I can think of.
No, he never did. Never did.
Looks healthy. You know, doesn't look like his body's under a lot of stress. So, you know, I'm sure if he flipped the switch, I'm sure he could do it.
He can't be under stress. He's got his feet up by the pool with the beer and yeah, he's doing great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. But I mean, you know, yeah. So good question though.
Last question from Sid. Who's your favorite bodybuilder and why?
I don't really have a favorite, Sid, to be honest with you. Like I said earlier, the other question, I mean, they all are a huge influence in my life, from personalities to, you know, just body types, body parts. Everyone out there has been an inspiration, and I draw something from each and every one of them. You know, really, I do. I don't really have a favorite. I like all the guys for their own uniqueness, and even now, you know,
right.
You can look at the guys who have their own personalities and finding their way and stuff. It's interesting to watch. It's inspiring.
Okay, this guy is someone you know. This is a blast from your past. He didn't leave his real name, but hopefully you'll know who this guy is. Question and a statement for Kevin Levrone. Who do you think will give you a run for your money at the Arnold? Well, that's the question, but here's who he is. I trained with Kevin 1999 through 2003, Mr. O. Privileged to call him a brother of 18 years. When Kevin dials it in with a complete package, there's going to be some big upsets. Never seen a human go from 210 to 256 pounds in 3.5 months. Kevin is the OG genetic freak. By the way, isn't joking about the war room. Seen it myself. Take it from an 8-year Marine vet. Nice arsenal. Kind bud.
It's Mark.
Kind bud.
That's just Mark.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly who that is. Since you said take it from an 8-year Marine arsenal.
Yeah.
I know exactly who that was. It's Mark. Real name is Mark.
Okay.
Call him Kind Bud.
Kind bud. Yeah, I mean, which is, you know, usually refers to something good to smoke. But so I guess his only question was, who do you think will give you a run for your money at the Arnold? So this would be the Arnold, Australia.
Mark, I think right now I'm giving myself a run for the money. You know, Mark knows me. It's just it's all about me competing against myself.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest with you, you know, we got the clock ticking, and we talked about this, Ron. We got the clock ticking.
I think there's some more questions.
The stands are about to fill up, and I'm running against this clock, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind Bud in the house.
Okay. Firepower 777, who I believe goes by many names on the MD forum, but in this particular case. Ask Kevin if he's ever considered doing another bodybuilding documentary like Road to the Arnold, kind of like what they did in the old days. His M3 film was one of the best ever. He should do another.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to start working on one the 17th of this month.
Awesome. Okay.
And we talked about that, Ron, you know.
Yeah. That's a week from today.
And it's another time. I'll use another platform to talk about that with you guys. But yeah, I'm going to be filming starting the 17th of January.
Awesome.
For another video series.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alex BB, 3 questions. Number 1, does he regret retiring in 2003? Does he think he could have won an Olympia had he continued? maybe in
No.
2007 or 2008.
I don't regret retiring, no.
Okay.
Had my son, man.
That's right, Gabriel. Number 2, with the knowledge and experience he has now, looking back, would he have done anything different regarding
No.
his training / contest prep?
No, nothing different because I'm completely healthy right now.
Yeah. Final question from Alex. The best memory he has from his career. I think we've done that before.
Yeah.
Winning the
The whole,
Nationals. Yeah.
just meeting Joe Weider. Had the opportunity to meet Arnold, Joe Weider, be in the Weider office, learn from Joe Weider, the man that built this industry on his dreams and ideas. That was just the whole thing. Meeting every single pro that has come through the IFBB, during that time has just been a dream come true for me.
Yeah, let me ask you, because that building's not even around anymore, that Woodland Hills office.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like the first time you walked into Joe's office, knowing that pretty much every single star of bodybuilding since the 60s had been in that same office as you talking to Joe? That must have been pretty crazy.
I had won the Nationals and Jim Mannion and Lee Haney. Lee Haney was a huge inspiration who kind of guided me and said, stick with Jim. Jim Mannion led me to California to meet Joe Weider because I left right from the Nationals. Jimmy was there, and I met Joe for the first time plane land. My first plane flight ever was to meet Joe Weider, actually.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Man, it was just jaw-dropping, heart beating. It was just amazing to be able to think that had happened.
Yeah.
And that opportunity had arisen for me to be having this opportunity to be in the presence of him and his thoughts and his ideas and his vision and everything. You could constantly, it was around you. It was in the office, all the Remington statues that he had, the bodybuilding paintings and just his voice and everything. It's just a presence that was there, was very, very powerful. And you felt like you were just part of something historical, great. And I was honored to be there and be in his presence and everything, and you just didn't want it to end, you wanted to learn everything that you possibly can, from Joe Weider. And he'd take us out to lunch. We went out to lunch and he'd stay in touch with us. One thing about Joe, he really cared about the athletes, and taught us things that we needed to know and things that we needed to learn and helped each and every one of us, and offered us contracts based on our performance. Not everyone receives a Weider contract.
Right.
You had to earn it. And when you had it, you had to keep it. So, you were held at a higher level of standards than other people were because you were representing, his umbrella of what he had built. So I was very honored and blessed and felt, just it's amazing, man.
It's one of my only regrets in my career is I was around Joe. I never worked for him, but I was around him many, many times, backstage or expos, whatever. And I always was like, I want to introduce myself. I want to say hi. I want to meet. I was just too intimidated.
Yeah.
Now he's gone forever, and I'll never get the chance.
Taught us how to pose.
Yeah.
How to hold you flex your abs, be able to stand on stage, do your quarter turns with your serratus completely flexed and breathing at the same time. These things that I've learned from him, how to stand there fully flexed and be able to, breathe, right, and how to pull your obliques in and hold them tight, flexing constantly. And that those oblique muscles and the contractions down there, that those are muscles that you have to train also. And then, just the whole thing that bodybuilding is an illusion. You create the illusion on stage, and it's just everything that he kind of taught us, and just it sticks with me now.
Yeah, I have to wonder, because the presentation now, on average, is just not the same level as it used to be. And I have to wonder if it's because Joe had that influence for so many years on guys like yourself and everyone who walked into that office. Even
the photo shoots, Ron, when we turned pro, when we flew to California, after a show, we had to go do photo shoots, and he was there present at the photo shoots, and if we were doing something wrong because we were his athletes, he would correct us in posing. You know, he would say, you know, hold your arms like, you know, not in like this, Levrone, you know, pull it out like this, you know, use the whole space around you, just create that, or to make yourself look bigger. When you twist and when you go into the pose, you know, suck the abdominals in and hold that pose like this and breathe out your nose at the same time. So all of these things were taught to us, you know, at a higher level of standard than it is today. These guys today just get pro cards and they're on their own.
Yeah. To
figure out how to pose, how to do the presentation, or if they're even doing it right. But it wasn't like that with us, you know. Jim brought us in. We got the pro card. We got sent to Joe. Joe looked us over. Joe talked to us. Joe mentored us. Joe, you know, okay, let me see your front double bicep. Let me see your side chest. Let me see your, you know, your bicep peak. You know, he talked to me about all of these things, and I had to sit there and I had to pose and I had to show him what I had. And if there was something wrong, he would you know, work with me and fix it.
Yeah.
Because he cared about all of us, and he wanted us to look our best on stage because we represented, you know, the Joe Weider Mr. Olympia. That was the grand show. Right. And, you know, you just don't have that now.
Do you remember the story Dorian told about he was brought at the first time he went out to meet Joe and do a photo shoot for the cover of Muscle and Fitness? And it was him and a girl, and Joe worked with him for like an hour trying to get Dorian to smile. He couldn't get him to smile. He ended up with like a little smirk. That was the closest Dorian. He smiles
I remember
now.
that cover. I remember that cover.
Yeah, but that was a funny story.
You know, but that's you know, those moments like that that's what it's why it was such a. It's built on passion, love, and it was built on the passion that someone had and caring, and you saw what came out of it. You know.
Okay. Lex1247. Does Kevin do any cardio work at home? Treadmill, stationary bike, etc., or is all his training done at Exile Fitness, including cardio?
At times, if I feel like, I have a full gym here, you know, complete full gym, treadmills, cardio, bikes, everything. I don't even need to do cardio right now, to be honest with you. So I haven't even done no cardio.
But if you did, would you do it at home?
Yeah, at home.
Okay. And the second part of this question, do you believe in fasted cardio in the morning or post-workout?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Always fasted.
Okay.
You know. Mm-hmm.
Also asks, are there any plans for Kevin to come out with a Maryland Muscle Machine clothing line, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, etc.? Seems a lot of the pros are trying to branch into merchandising.
Well, I have my brand now, which is the Levrone clothing line. You know, you guys can go to Levrone clothing on Instagram. And we Levrone clothing. We have shirts, we have sweatshirts, we have sweatpants, we have women's apparel, we have men's apparel, sportswear, women's sportswear. We have everything there. Yeah.
Okay. Vin77, please ask Kevin whose physique he admires the most in bodybuilding today. Big Ramy, Dex, Phil, Cedric. What look do you like or admire, as there are a lot of variations today?
Yeah. There's something about everyone, all of those guys that I can take a look at and find something that I admire about them. You know, I think, you know, as far as Big Ramy, I think he's very, very humble. I like that about him. I like his personality, the fact that how can this guy be so nice and get that big? You know, that's the mystery about him. Like he's so nice, but then it must be a side of him to just attack the weights like crazy in the gym. So, you know, for someone, I would like to know what's going on inside of him. So, you know, for that right there, you just got Kai Green, who's just such an original, you know, and he's just at another level to express himself. And I think that's something very, very interesting and a beautiful thing to watch and see. Then you have Phil Heath, you know, who's grown into the sport, who is going up for 8 Mr. Olympias. You know, so you have to give your hat and respect off to him and where he started from and his era of coming in, the opportunity that he sees at the moment. Yeah. So hold on one second. Okay. Are we back now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So there's just everything. I mean, all of these guys. Dexter, how long he's been there, consistent in his performance and the way he presents himself. It's just all around us is inspiration.
Yeah. Final question, all the way from New Zealand, Ruben Brannon. He says, "Hi Ron, I'm thinking of traveling to Australia from New Zealand to see Levrone at the Arnold Classic, but I was wondering if you could ask him if he will be at the meet and greet event there a couple days prior."
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, Ruben, book your flight, man.
Thanks, Ruben.
It's already
Thanks,
January.
man.
You better get on this, Ruben.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 30-minute flight, though. Well, I guess I don't know. I don't know the geography that well. Did you know that yesterday or the day before, Sydney, Australia had their hottest day ever recorded?
No, I didn't know that.
117 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Boston, we had our coldest day ever recorded one day last week.
Yeah, I was stuck in New York Airport, man.
Oof. Ouch. During that storm?
Well, 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yesterday.
they're still having issues getting out of that place. Huh?
Yeah, I was stuck there. I had to sleep on the floor up there.
I've slept on the floor at Atlanta Airport. Never fun.
I mean, all night long. I mean, it was amazing to see how people can come together, you know, when there's something out of your control, like the flights and stuff, and there must have been 2,000 or 3,000 people, just everyone from families to people traveling alone, people from foreign countries that were just there in the airport, and everyone was just so humble and helping everybody out. And it was good to see that, man.
How did Baltimore do in that storm? You guys got some good snow?
No, not really.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Boy, jeez, I got a foot and a half. Yeah, I did, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, 18 inches in my town.
Wow.
It's all right, no big deal. We get 2 or 3 of those every winter. It's not nothing unusual.
Where you at up there, Ron?
A little south
Upstate?
of Boston. A little south of Boston.
Yeah. Okay.
South Shore, we call it.
And of course, can't forget about Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler's been an influence to all of us too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you at that Fit Expo? No, huh?
Mm-mm.
No? Yeah, me neither.
No.
I went to it the very first year they did it. I'm sure it's about 10 or 20 times the size.
Yeah, I haven't been there in about 9 years.
All right, well,
Yeah.
that is all the questions the fans had for you this time. I'm sure
Great.
they'll be sending more and more, and they appreciate you very much giving your answers here on the platform here on MD. So,
Yeah, man, it's just good to be able to connect with these guys. So
cool. All right, appreciate it very much.
that's it.
This has been
Well, that
How I
was a
See
nice.
It with Levrone Supplements. How I See It with Kevin Levrone, brought to you by Levrone Supplements.
Yeah,
And how do we end every show, Kevin?
Ron, you know how we rolling. 1, 2, 3.
Shove.
Boom.